I don't know if you guys seen
what?
Skip Bayless straight disrespected Dame Dollar.
Dame time! Dame time!
And how you figure that?
The way bro was talking, he was like,
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose.
we all know the blockbuster deal that sent Dame Lillard over there to Milwaukee Bucks. Well, he just had his homecoming when the Milwaukee Bucks played against the Portland Trail Blazers. And when they announced Dame time, this was how they greeted him.
Damian Lillard! Portland Trail Blazers owed him that, but that's just me.
Now, the next day on Undisputed, the question for the panel was, did they do right by Dame Lillard?
And if I had been a Trailblazer fan, I would not have booed, but I'm not sure I would have cheered because I'm not sure exactly what Dame did for me.
I mean, he was the face of the franchise. He brought him to the playoffs every year.
I'm a demanding fan, so I would say, okay, you got me what? Where did we go?
If it were not for Steph Curry, there isn't a point guard in this nation that we would be talking about we want more than Damian Lillard.
I mean, I think Sacramento, OKC, New York, Dallas, Indiana, they would all say different.
Portland was very good to him.
Portland did what was best for its franchise.
Even though what he did do in the biggest picture was he was, as they say, loyal to the soil. He stayed for 11 years.
You could have asked out years earlier. Damian Lillard didn't do that.
We're talking about an era of basketball where there is no loyalty by the players.
He ain't lying either.
We're talking after you get your rookie contract and then you sign that big deal, in the next 2 years, you looking to be out of there. You looking to go to a winning franchise. But Dame Lillard said, I'm loyal and I'm going to stay here and I'm going to try my best to bring this franchise a championship.
And should he get a biscuit for that?
Look at the roster he had.
And he had LaMarcus Aldridge for a while, and he had CJ, and they just couldn't get over any humps.
CJ McCollum?
Yeah, he was nice.
Like, come on.
He was a big fish in a small pond.
This brother's something special. Just finished averaging 32 this season. A career 25-point per game scorer.
So if you look at Dame's legacy, 11 years worth in Portland.
The brother has sent people home in his career.
He went in the postseason 22-39.
I love Paul George. He sent them home. I respect the hell out of the future Hall of Famer that is Russell Westbrook. He sent them home. He sent home Dwight Howard. He sent home James Harden.
He went 4-8 in postseason series.
And did make it to the Western Conference Finals.
And what that mean?
He got to one conference finals, speaking of, Golden State, and KD was hurt.
Exactly, nothing.
I mean, everybody lost to the Warriors, so could you blame dude?
In Dame's postseason career, he has the lowest winning percentage of any active player. And you can say, well, he just didn't have enough help, but it's .361. That's his winning percentage in the postseason.
The fact of the matter is he didn't have enough help. And even though he didn't have a winning percentage in the playoffs, he still had your team in the playoffs every year.
I mean, after playoffs, my boy, we want to chip. He had CJ with him.
Jun, you're absolutely right. I'm not going to refute that. But those fans who Dame Lillard was dear to them for 11 years felt that he had to get a standing ovation and that it was the right thing to do because he kept them relevant, where prior to his presence, the team sucked. But let me switch gears back to what we was talking about. If you ask me, CJ McCollum is all right.
Wait, are you putting him on Eric Snow's level?
I wouldn't say Eric Snow, but I'd definitely take Chris Middleton pre-injury over CJ McCollum. And I guarantee Chris Middleton will probably give Dame Dollar a better chance at winning the chip. But for him to make it that far with the roster he got, how could you hate on this man?
But how do you say Dame left no legacy though, Skip? What do you mean he left no legacy?
For real, Skip, what do you mean about not having a legacy?
He gave them everything. He gave them everything to the point where they started saying, okay, Dame, we release you to go hunt for a ring since we're not doing it here.
Does Clyde Drexler not have a legacy in Portland? Does Patrick Ewing not have a legacy in New York? Does Charles Barkley not have a legacy in the 76ers? Does KG not have a legacy in Minnesota? What about Vince Carter in Toronto? Dominique Wilkins for the Hawks? Karl Malone and John Stockton for Utah? The list goes on and on. Just because he didn't bring the franchise a ring does not mean that he doesn't have a legacy with that franchise. There's a lot of players that didn't get rings for particular franchises, but they have a legacy because of the hard work, the grit, the grind, and making that franchise relevant and at least getting them to the playoffs year after year.
I mean, I agree with everything you said, but I think what Skip's trying to say is he didn't solidify his spot in history. That's why his legacy doesn't matter. Like, it's going to matter maybe for 50 years, 60 years, but it's not going to matter forever because someone's going to win championships for Portland. Your long distance threes, it was cute back then, but now in this time, you know what I mean, everybody could probably shoot like that 50 years from now, so you won't even be remembered. Like, you should have won a championship, and this way we'll remember you forever.
June, you might be completely right. I'm not gonna hold you, but I still disagree with Skip Bayless' assessment on Dame Dollar and how this guy basically was irrelevant and did nothing for Portland, and the Portland fans should not have appreciated him when he made his return back to Portland.
Yeah, he was wilding for that.
But hey, you heard my talk, you definitely heard June talk, but hey, don't call it locker room talk, but let me hear your talk in the comment section.
Tell him.
And if you want to hear our thoughts on the new transgender policy that will completely destroy women's boxing,
They got no chance.
check out this video card that just popped up.
Well, all right. Congratulations, Dame. Welcome back.
Hey, that's that locker room talk right there.
This was locker room talk.
Hey, that's that locker room talk right there.